Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Charles with the latest edition of Charles Snyder Raw. It's Training Tuesday, so I've been spending most of the day so far on conference calls, which means I haven't gotten much else done. But Tuesdays is good. I mean, it's a learning day, it's a day to practice, it's a day to add new skills to the tool bag, if you will. So, what are you doing on your Training Tuesday or whatever day it may be? What are you feeding your brain with? There's a lot of good stuff today, and I've been kind of partially distracted because the whole time I'm thinking about how I can apply, what I was learning or what we've been talking about. And there's been a lot of great stuff. So I can't really like say that there was like any single thing that really stood out or really grabbed me by the nose because I've been really thinking a lot about our sales and our marketing lately, not only from the standpoint of keeping business coming in for us, but also helping out our customers, helping them with their sales and marketing processes to basically automate as much of it as we possibly can so that it takes the human element out of it, so that it's the same every single time, that the response times are down where they need to be, and so forth. So there's a lot of implementation and planning on that side of it, which is kind of what I've been really thinking about is how can we do our job better so that we can do a better job for our customers as well as for our own agency. Because that's just the constant thing is how do I keep this going? How do I keep it rolling? How do I keep it growing while removing myself from that equation so that I'm not in the way and I can focus on the content creation aspect of it, the consulting aspect of it, because we do get a lot of questions that are not just marketing related. We get tremendous amount, as far as like websites go, search engine optimization. Yeah, that all kind of plays parts, plays into that as a part of it. But the main aspect is without marketing and sales, the rest of it doesn't really matter. So we try and press that upon, we try and keep that in the back of our own minds as we're going through and doing this. Me especially because, I'm worried about, how do I how do I take our agency to the next step? How do we get us to the next level? How do we expand a team? How do I avoid picking up some people? I'm talking about picking up at least like a an assistant or something here in the very near future. And in the process of doing that, how do I, how do I get the right person? How do I get the right fit? So there's a lot of other stuff that, playing into that. But the main focus, what I'm trying to stay focused on is our processes for, internally for our agency and as well as externally for our customers. How can we basically do, how can we do a better job of what we do? That's what it really boils down to. Um, then, of course, there's still more stuff coming out about this whole uh, Cambridge Analytica scandal, and the federal government's getting involved. The Federal Trade Commission is getting involved in this now, and as I stated in the last couple of videos, this is basically Facebook's trying to get ahead of the curve, thinking that if they pull back and they address the and it's not even really a privacy issue because the whole thing is here is like the information that was supposedly used, um, without the individual's consent cannot be used outside of the Facebook platform. So it's kind of not so much a privacy breach. There wasn't a hacking thing. It's more of a trust breach because it was just kind of, Facebook's been kind of um, lax as far as like their disciplinary or, how rigid they are with some of their advertising and stuff. Basically, it's an honor system, or it used to be. It's not going to be anymore. And with that honor system, the idea was is basically people would do, you know, the concept was is they were trusting marketers, advertisers to do the right thing. Now, out of the 200 some odd million, or the 2 million some odd advertisers that they are dealing with on a daily basis, most of them are, they're legitimate. They're small businesses, they're big businesses, they're marketers like, our agency running ads. But you do have some unscrupulous people out there. There's been, uh, this whole thing with the Russians taking out ads, spending a couple $1,000s on ads to influence the presidential election. I mean, never mind that the one candidate was just, an outright criminal. But anyway, you had the Russians trying to influence in favor of, the liberal left socialist leaning types, and it backfired. But anyway, like I said, it wasn't a privacy breach. No one's personal information got released. It's not out. It's just not out there. It wasn't a hacking attempt. No one's accounts got taken over. Although that kind of craziness goes on a daily basis as well. It wasn't through that platform. It was a trust breach because basically Facebook was allowing these third parties to scrape this information together and to upload it and to use it for targeting with ads. They've taken that back. So other than the whole the messenger bot thing, the rest of it, and I've stated several times, is not that big of a deal. And the reason because the more you try and tweak the little nuances of the targeting of the audience and stuff, more times than not, I've seen personally that people are just screwing it up. They're making it worse than what it is. What you got to do is you start with a fairly balanced or broad audience. They have an algorithm that takes care of running these ads for you. You have to get the initial setup there. You have to have, your website pixeled, and you have to be gathering that information from all your different sources and your pages and stuff. But once you have that in there, their algorithm does a fairly decent job of figuring out what the micro targeting needs to be as opposed to what people think it should be. So again, I believe it should be laid to rest because it's really not that big of a deal. I'm interested to see what comes out of the whole bot thing with the messenger bots, because that is something, like I said, we've been looking into using ourselves as well as offering for our customers. But again, I don't think it's something that really needs us, or for anyone that for that matter, but we're not going anywhere because I don't think it's that big of a deal. It doesn't affect our business. So, the BSers and douchey car videos and stuff, if they don't feel like spending money, to get their ads seen on Facebook, bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Anyway, that does it for today. I got to get off of here. I'm still trying to get the 5 minutes with Charles video done from last week, as well as working on the one for this week. It's crazy stuff. So have a great day. Take care, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Love, peace, and chicken grease.